go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, with I don't like it. Okay, I'm back. She's ready. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Y'all already know who this is. It's your girl, TheeCrystalAlexis. And if this is your first time viewing with us, allow me to introduce myself. First of all, I'm an ambassador for Christ. Second, I'm a carrier of light. And third, I am called to make the truth and knowledge of Jesus Christ known to all people. So, now that we got that out the way. So, I remember my first acting class that I ever took. I want to say it was like 2019, prior to COVID. It was definitely prior to COVID hitting, because I don't remember wearing masks or anything like that. And we were very much so up close and personal in that acting class. So it was winter of 2019, right before COVID hit. And I went to my very first acting class. And this class was taught by Lorna Quinn. And then you had Landon Pierce. Shout out to y'all. I think I'm going to tag y'all on here to see if y'all even remember what I'm talking about, because it was a hilarious story. I will never forget it. And so, I think maybe a week had gone by of the acting class, and we finally got our script. So when you're in acting class, that's the thing you look forward to, because you want to see what's the plan. Like, what am I going to be doing? Like, who am I going to be acting like? Who's my character? And so we finally got our scripts, and we were doing I think it's called a scene study, where you go through, you break down the script, you figure out who's talking, who's your character, what do they want from each other, how to further develop this person, develop yourself into this person, this character, this role. So it's super exciting because you get to role play, And so I got my scene. And I remember I went home and I studied it, and I was like, yes, and I got the gist and I got the idea, and I came home and I'm like, I went back to class that following week when it was time to present to the instructors. Now, that portion of the class, we weren't presenting to the other class members, thank God, but we only had to present to the instructors, and our other class members walked out while we present. And so I get up there, I don't have my paper. I noticed some of the other students got their paper, so I'm like, okay, I got this. They still ain't got their stuff memorized, they still reading off of their paper, like, I'm good. So I also noticed, they're zoned out. They got their headphones on. They're sitting off in the corner, rehearsing to themselves, talking to themselves, because that's what you do as an actor. You rehearse, you get into the characters. You don't want nobody interrupting your focus. So you block everything out, all the talking, all the noise. You put your headphones on, you get in your zone. So they all getting in their zone, and I'm like, okay, I see you. I don't need to do that because I already got my memorized. You heard me? Okay. So I get in there, because it's an in and out thing, and I'm watching people go in, and they're just a ball of nerves, and I'm like, I'm chilling, I'm breezy. Y'all keep rehearsing because I got mine memorized, okay? So I get in there and I do my slate, I'm Crystal Alexis Ingram, age, whatever, height, whatever they ask me to say, I'm not sure. And so they're sitting there, and you got these two sets of eyes just darting. It's so intimidating. But I wasn't intimidated. I was good because I'm prepared, I've studied. I've prepared for this. I'm ready. So I did my scene, and I got done, and I stood there, and I'm waiting on them to respond, and they're literally like looking at me like this. And they look at each other, and then they look back at me, and I'm like, yep, what y'all got to say? I killed it. And so they're like, wow. And I'm like, And they're like, we've never seen anything like this, like in the history of all our classes. We've never seen anything like this. And I'm like, yep. And then they're like, never do that again. And I'm like, no, what, like, wait, whoa, back up. Because I thought I did good. Like, I thought we was vibing. Like, what happened? And so, come to find out, when they give you a script, you're actually supposed to follow the words on the script. Well, your girl, she, her, me, I didn't know that. I thought that I thought that actors improvise the whole time. I thought the script was just a guideline to let you know what's going on in the scene. And I thought you just come up with your own words. As long as the scene starts and ends how it's supposed to start and end, and it flows, I thought I was good. Y'all, I had to sat up there and did a whole scene. I did not do one line off of the whole script. Needless to say, I was mortified. And I was very embarrassed because Lauren was like, Landon was just, and see, you have to know the dynamic of the two. Landon wanted to laugh. Lauren probably wanted to laugh too, but she was probably more like, this is so bad that it's not even laughable. It's that serious, you know. But Lauren got me together quick, and she was like, you can't do that. Like, you literally just rewrote the entire script. You didn't read one line off of the script, and you can't do that. They were like, if you were ever at an audition with a writer and the writer was in the room, the creator of that story, that script, that would be so disrespectful for you not to even follow the script. Like, it's that's horrible. You cannot do that. Don't ever do that again. And I was like, and I told her, I was like, I didn't know. I thought that you were supposed to make up your own words. I really literally thought all these movies that I be watching, I thought it was all improvised. I didn't know that they're going line for line, page for page to do the, you know, to do the script. And so I thought about that, and I was like, wow. She told me, you know, that is so disrespectful to the creator of this material and to the writer. You never want to do that. You always want to stick to the lines. If you flub, you know, like a word or two, or you change a word or two, like out of the whole script, then that's fine, as long as the words have the same meaning. But like, don't go changing things. Like, you just cannot do that. And I'm telling you, that was 2019. It's 2022. That has stuck with me for the longest time. And now it brought me to today's message, which was, don't disrespect the creator. Okay, and it's timely because we have Father's Day that just passed, and so I wanted to come to you guys and talk to you about our Father, God, the Creator, and how sometimes we go through life and we don't even understand that we're being so disrespectful to our Creator, but it's out of ignorance, it's out of our lack of understanding, it's out of our lack of knowledge. Honestly, with that script, all I had to do was ask, how is this supposed to be done? But I was so much in my pride, and I was new, so I kind of had that thing going. I didn't want to be like the new girl that didn't know nothing. I wanted my instructors to feel like I knew what I was doing, and I wanted to feel like I knew what I was doing. I didn't want to go asking them a bunch of questions, looking and sounding all unprofessional. You know, I didn't want to do that whole thing. I just thought I knew what I was supposed to be doing. Like, and so this is what you do when all I had to do was ask a question. All I had to do was ask. God is the writer of our destiny. He's the creator of our lives. He knows better than anybody what should we be doing, because he's the one who created this life for us. So when we are saying, you know, we need a job and we're praying for a job, and then he give us one, well, God, I don't really want that job. Like, could we like throw that back in the pile, mix it up a bit, and pull another job because this ain't the one for me. I know this is not what you have called me to. This is not my ministry. It's not my calling. I'm pretty sure you made a mistake. That's how we do. We want to change how God wrote our destiny. The Bible says that God foreknew us. That means even before we were created, before we were conceived, before we were thought about, before we were born, before our parents even knew anything was kicking inside of them, God foreknew us. That means he knew us ahead of our time. And so with that being said, he put things in us that he knows he was going to eventually want to bring out of us. Okay, let me tell you. So back to acting. Not only did not going by the script mess me up, but you have to realize you also have scene partners that are in the scene with you. And if you don't stick to that script, it not only affects you, but it affects them also. Because there are trigger words that the writer, the creator has put into that script. There are things that evoke emotion, things that will pull emotion out of you or pull emotion out of the audience. There are certain keywords, certain beats, certain rhythms, certain things that the creator, the writer of that script has intertwined in there for a reason. Okay, and if you go to skipping things, it'll mess us up because you got our scene partner, they waiting on us to say a certain word. That word don't come up. Now they all thrown off and everything is ruined. The same thing with God the Father, our creator. He has weaved certain things into our lives, certain gifts, certain talents, certain situations. They may not look like it, but they have been ordained by our creator. It was written in our story very, very purposely. So that when we do those things, when we bring up those things, when we exercise those gifts and talents, when we are obedient and do the things that God the Father is telling us to do, it's going to affect other people. That thing that you don't want to do is probably the thing that's going to help to bring someone else to salvation. That job that you don't want to work to is probably going to be the thing to bring about some resources or opportunity that you're asking God for. And the thing about it, when we rewrite our stories, when I ran off and did not say any words from that script and I rewrote the story that writer had written, it was basically saying what he wrote wasn't good enough. And that's how we do in our lives. When God blesses us with something that doesn't look like what we expected it to look like, we feel like it's not good enough for us. And that's so disrespectful to the creator because he spent so much time, effort, energy. He put himself into you. And for you to say that it's not good enough, for you to compare it to other people, for you to say, I got this job, but they got that job. Why they get to make $100,000 a year and I'm only making 50? That's because that's their life. That's their script that the writer, the creator wrote for them, but this is yours. So you have to be a good steward over what the creator has blessed you with. And sometimes we don't look at things like it's a blessing, but we have to adjust our vision. We have to adjust our perspective and learn to start seeing things differently. What might not look like a blessing to you, I guarantee you there's a million people in the world that wish they had what you had, and it's a blessing for them. Let's do our best not to disrespect the creator. When God writes something into our story, when God writes something into our destiny, let's be good stewards of it. Let's handle it with love, with care, with respect, with gratitude. Let's not go to sticking our hands in it and changing up all the words, because that is telling God that what he has planned for our lives is not good enough, and we know better. And we all know that that's not the truth. Okay, let's just do better. Let's be more considerate. Let's be more thoughtful. Let's be more cognizant of the things that we're doing. And I know Listen, I will complain about some stuff. I used to. That's the old me, though. It's the old me. Old me. But sometimes it's just our human nature, and we find ourselves, anything. A parking spot at the store. I do not want. If I don't park within the first 2 or 3, spots, I'm complaining. I don't want to park. Baby, at least you got a car to park. At least you ain't have to walk. If God take your car away, you won't have to find a parking spot. You'll be good. Because you'll have to walk to the store, okay? All right? Be complaining about the light bills and how high it is and how expensive things are. Well, get your lights cut off and see, don't you mind paying that expensive light bill? A lot of times we also complain about, and I know especially as women, we get a little bit more self-conscious, and it's not because we just like that. It's society has conditioned us to be like that, and other things. There are many plethora of reasons why we're insecure and self-conscious about ourselves. But we always want to change things about ourselves. Whatever we don't have, that's what we want. If we got curly hair, we wish our hair was straight. If we got straight hair, we wish our hair was curly. If you got natural hair, you wish you could wear weave. If you got small boobs, you wish you had big boobs. If you got big boobs, your back hurting and you wish you could get a breast reduction. If you got no hips, you wish you had hips. If you got big feet, you wish your feet was smaller. If you got small feet, you wish, we always want what we do not have. Learn to stop disrespecting the Creator. He made us exactly how we are. And I know what y'all gonna say, and y'all could save it. Save me all the antics about what I'm not supposed to look good. I'm not supposed to feel good about myself. I'm not supposed to, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying get in tune with yourself and be secure with who you are in your heart before you start trying to change things on the outside. Because I'll be the first one to tell you, I've had cosmetic surgery more than twice, more than 3 times. I'm going to keep that number to myself. But let's just say I've had over a handful, okay, catch that on your way home, over a handful of cosmetic procedures. I have probably 50 wigs in my closet, so I'm always changing something. I'm not saying that you can't embellish. I'm not saying that you can't adorn yourself with things. I love my little watches, you know what I'm saying? I like to keep myself fashionably, I don't spend too much money. I don't have to be dressed in name brands all the time. But I like to be cute. I like to be presentable. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying when God gives you something and you be like, I don't want that. I want what she got. You're being envious. You're being covetous. When God hands you a life and say, daughter, you're supposed to be in ministry. No, you're not going to get paid $100,000 that you was making over there doing that. But this is where I want you. And we pout and we moan and we complain. But we're not realizing that God is taking us out of a situation, putting us in another one, and setting us up for other things. He's not just going to take you off, He's not just going to take you down off your throne, drop you in the mud, and say, now you stay there, humble yourself. Okay? He's not going to do that. That's not the God we serve. And if you feel like that, then I encourage you to get a closer, more intimate relationship with God and really get to know him and ask him to reveal himself to you and ask him to show up in those areas where you are lacking faith and where you are doubtful about who he is in your life and about your real identity in him. But what I'm saying is, get right in your heart first before the adorning and the embellishments. Because if you adorn and embellish crap, you're just going to have a pile of boo-boo with embellishments on it. You don't want to do that. You want to get yourself together. before I had any cosmetic surgery. I'm telling you, I prayed more than I ever remember praying before in my life. Before, not just because I was scared, because I was never scared to have the surgery. I was never scared. I knew the consequences. I knew the possible outcomes. I knew that I could possibly die. Every single time I went under that knife, that's always a possibility. Regardless of what surgery you have, it's always a possibility that when you go under the knife, that something could happen. You could have complications and you might not make it out alive. But I wasn't secure in that about myself. I was secure in the God that I served. And I knew that he was going to bring me through. You know, I ain't going to get into that. But it's things, you know, I think that God probably didn't really want me to have the surgery for real. But because I went to him in a certain way, and it wasn't like a disobedience. He didn't tell me no. He wanted some other things for me, but he did allow me to have those surgeries at that time, and assured me that I was protected. So that is why, it was because of my relationship. It's not because I believe so much in the doctors, you know, but it's because I believed in the God that I served. And so, guys, I said all that to say, God loves you so much, and he put so many special things in you. There are so many unique things about you. You have gifts, you have talents, you have anointing. You may not have tapped into it yet, but it's there. You may not know it, but it's there. You may not believe it. People may have told you you ain't worth a dime, but don't believe it. It's there. God has placed that in you. He foreknew you. And if we're made in his likeness, God ain't crap. He ain't making no crap. He made us in his likeness. He made us in his image. He made us after his own image. Meaning that he loves you so much that he gave you, that he put his heart in you. He put his spirit in you. He put his mind in you. But you just have to go by what the Creator, go by what he wrote. Go by what he wrote your life out to be. Go by the script that he wrote your destiny out to be. And I pray that you find solace and that you find comfort in getting close to your Creator and following the script. Now, y'all, don't forget, hit that thumbs up button. Go ahead and smash that notification bell. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like this video. It don't take nothing but less than a second. That's all it takes. Like the video. Listen, I love you with the love of God. I pray that you all are well on today and that you come back and see us. Don't forget, this is TheeCrystalAlexis signing out. Don't forget to get high this week. What's getting high? Humility, integrity, growth, and healing. That's what we're doing on this channel. That's what we're doing on this platform. That's what we're doing in life. Not just for ourselves, but for others. Bring a friend with you next time. And let's get high together. All right.